You know, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion. But sometimes your opinion can be garbage and you should keep it to yourself. Case in point being MrNoobTubeGamer, who recently released a video explaining to us why the PC is inferior to the console. So we will take a look at his train wreck of a production, and I will go through point by point, and I will explain why he's wrong, where he's wrong, how he is wrong. I will shed light upon his darkness, and I will expose the outright lies he says, the misleading information he presents, and I will clear away the deceptive video evidence that he has presented to you, claiming it is factual.
Hello again, everybody. This is MrNoobTubeGamer, and I am here to help my fellow console comrades. Let's have a temporary peace agreement for the console wars, just for this video. That's all I ask, because both PS4 and Xbox One players have one common goal. And that goal is to debunk the common misconception that PC gaming is better than consoles.
You call them console comrades, and then you say, we'll make a truce, implying that you're enemies. You shouldn't be enemies, but again, you're 15. Your mind stops working at step 1. You want your competition to be as strong as possible so that you can gather the benefits. That's capitalism. But again, you're 15. You stopped at step 1. Continue.
Sony and Microsoft fans, we both want to expose PC gaming as the inferior platform that truly is, and you know how the old saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So that is why I'm here, to help all of you in the fight against PC gaming.
Again, you want your competition to be as strong as possible so that you can reap the rewards that your company does in order to compete with their services.
Let me ask you all one question. Have you ever watched a YouTube video only to get yourself trapped in the middle of an invasion of PC elitists in the comment section?
Of course not, because if I don't like the comments on something that I'm reading, then I just don't read them?
If you answered yes to this question, then this video is for you.
This video isn't for anybody.
Because I'm here to help you fight back against these entitled PC gamers, because this video will teach you how to win a PC versus console debate every single time.
Whoa there, cowboy. Hold on just one moment. Did you just call an entire group of people entitled? Ooh boy, that's gotten some people in hot water in the past, just to let you know. But let me give you some advice here. You're probably, what, 15, 16? You have everything taken care of for you. You have your house taken care of by your parents. They pay the bills. They pay for the electricity. They keep all the lights on. They pay for your heating. They pay for your cooling. They pay to send you to school. They pay for your transportation. And you yourself, you don't have to go to a job. You don't have to pay bills. You aren't yet a real productive member of society. So maybe, just maybe, before you call an entire diverse group of people like PC gamers entitled, maybe, just maybe you should stop, take a step back, and examine where you yourself are in today's society. Because right now you're kind of undergoing the most easy part of your life, other than your infancy, where all you had to do was eat and poop.
The video will consist of 5 arguments on why consoles are superior to PC, as well as 5 counter-arguments which will further cripple the PC master race regime. This video will single-handedly crush the cancer known as PC gaming.
Cancer on gaming. Okay, well, why do you think that? Give us a reason. Explain this to us. How have we negatively impacted your experience on the console? How have we negatively impacted the industry as a whole? Do we gather on the slopes of Mount Doom annually for our puppy-kicking conventions? Do we not really think Seinfeld's all that funny? Do we not like pictures of cats on the internet? I mean, what? Give us a reason. Tell us why PC gaming is a cancer.
Let's start the video with argument number 1, simplicity. This chart compares the necessary steps to play a game once you get your PC or console fresh from the box.
That is actually not a chart. Those are just 2 lists with a line down the middle. That's not a chart. And I know it doesn't have anything to do with the debate we're having here, but I just wanted to let you know that that's not a chart.
Let's see how easy it is to run your games on a console for the first time. Step 1, plug in console. Step 2, insert disk or download title. Step 3, play your game.
So if you have a Kinect, you don't have to set that up. You don't have to make a profile. You don't have to connect to an online service and all the tediousness that comes with that. I'm not saying you can't, get around those things, but, I mean, isn't that stuff you should mention?
Now let's look at the steps needed to play a game on the PC. Step 1, download Steam or any other digital distribution service needed to play your game. Step 2, find a game. Step 3, make sure your PC can run said game. Step 4, download game. Installs do take longer on PC than consoles, by the way. Step 5, play the game. Step 6, expect crashes. Step 7, troubleshoot on Steam. Step 8, get your issue resolved. And Step 9, try again.
I was going to say that there's so much wrong with this list that I didn't know where to start, but hey, you listed it out for me, so let's just start at the top. Step 1, download Steam, the free digital distribution service that allows you not only to buy games, but links you, your friends, all your games, has built-in forums, walkthroughs, mod support, and it's all free? Well, sign me the fuck up! Step 2, find a game. Yeah, because we have so many options, so many different types of games, so many exclusives that it can actually be a little overwhelming how many games and how many options we have at our hands at any given point. Your little Microsoft box is not an open platform. Everything that goes on it is controlled by Microsoft. On PC, we've got an open platform. Not even Steam's Valve controls Steam's Valve. There you go. Not even they control what goes onto a PC. Just because a game isn't available on Steam doesn't mean I can't get it elsewhere, like Minecraft or something. But the only games that you can play on your Microsoft box are officially licensed Microsoft games that we have approved for your viewing and playing pleasure. We don't have that control that they have over you.
Now, I'm sure that many PC gamers watching this video will deny the fact that PC games crash on a frequent basis, which is why I have evidence. That's right. As you can see here, I conducted 3 different Google searches in order to determine the amount of reported game crashes on each respective platform. I concluded that the PC has nearly 30 million reported game crashes, while the PS4 and Xbox One have a combined total of over 8 million game crashes reported. Therefore, you are approximately 3.46 times more likely to experience game crashes on the PC than the PS4 and Xbox One combined. Obviously, if you only compare one console to the PC, the probability of encountering game issues will be even higher.
All right, we got a lot of stuff to cover here, so strap in your seatbelts, because here we go. 1, it takes seconds to find out whether or not your PC will run a game. The games recommended and minimal specs are going to be listed wherever you buy the game. Just compare that with what your PC's components are, and there you go. There's basically no thought required, and you can always get a refund if you don't like it. It takes seconds to decide whether or not your PC can run it well enough. So now let's get into the crashing. And in order to do that, I think it's important that you understand a little something about yourself, all right? You've displayed it before, but it's very apparent here, all right? You're, 15, 16, right? Your train of thought is on a track that's about 17 feet long. Whenever you have a thought, you get on the train of thought. And the track is only 17 feet long. You're not going anywhere. But you'll sit there on the train of thought, and then you'll get back up, and you'll exit the train of thought, and even though you haven't gone anywhere, you think you went for a great ride. You don't stop to think about where you are and where you have gone. Your train of thought stalled at the station. But you'll still smile and tell yourself, wow, I made a really good point. But people who are older, more mature, wiser than you, who can see deeper into an issue, they're down the tracks, man. They've gone places. And you haven't. So let me show you why bringing up crashing is actually probably not a really good idea for the PC versus console debate. At first glance, it may seem like it is a huge advantage to the consoles that crashing is less common. However, you have to take a few things into consideration. Again, train of thought, moving down the tracks here. 1, we can fix our crashes. Normally, I'd say 90% of my crashes, probably more, are fixable just by restarting the game and all's well. Then I have no more problems. Crashing is just a restart away. Crashing is a minor inconvenience for PC users. It's not some sort of massive stifling impediment that's in our way blocking us from enjoying the games. It's just something that every once in a while we go, ugh, another crash. Let me restart, guys. I'll be back in a second. That's really the worst it gets. Now, if you want to say that crashing is anything worse than that, these are definitely the exceptions to the rule that crashing is easily fixed. even if you have to fix a crash by editing, an INI file in the game settings, that takes a minute? Maybe 2 minutes if it's a really big problem. But come on, anybody can do that. It's really, really simple. We have the ability to fix our crashes. On console, if you guys have a crash, you're up poop creek without a paddle, man. You're really, really, really screwed. So whereas you gain a tiny, tiny, tiny little advantage being able to say, yeah, we don't crash as much as you, what it takes for you to get that tiny advantage is giving up the ability to customize your system. You guys can't buy different types of hardware that we can. We can customize our personal computers to whatever we want. We can make it a multitasking machine or pure gaming or just a multimedia center. We can make it whatever we want, and you guys don't have that customization. You don't have the freedom to choose the parts that you want and to customize the experience that you have. We do, and you gain only a tiny little iota of what might be considered an advantage because of that. It's not worth it. But how do you prove that you guys have less crashes? How do you prove that? You, quote unquote, you conducted 3 Google searches? That was your, quote unquote, research? You conducted 3 Google searches, and then you just added up the hits for the terms, and you just decided that was how many crashes the systems have? You just said, yeah, the PC has 20 million crashes because when I typed in PC crash, Google spat out that many hits? Are you serious? I don't even know what to say. This is such an incomprehensible level of stupidity. I am dumbstruck. I don't know. What do I say to that? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. The fact that you present this as evidence and you even have the gall to say that you have concluded anything boggles my mind. This is a titanic insult to reason itself. Hey, maybe this is why you call us a cancer, because when we listen to console fanboys like you talk, it gives us cancer. Maybe that's it.
But now it's time to move on to argument number 2, affordability. Now, don't worry, this argument will be further elaborated later on in the video, but for now I will just state that the Xbox One costs $350 and the PlayStation 4 costs $400. It should be noted that as of the recording of this video, you can buy the PS4 and Xbox One bundled with a game, which even further increases the value of the console. You cannot find a powerful gaming PC under $350, but like I said, don't worry, I will further elaborate on this point deeper into the video.
So talking about affordability was kind of your best chance to maybe give yourself an advantage over the PC gaming, concept, but you don't tell us anything here. This was the one place you had the most potential to explain something. It wouldn't have been correct, of course, but you at least had the opportunity to present yourself with an advantage. But you don't. You don't say anything here. So let me fill in the gaps that you've left behind. Firstly, thanks for telling us how much the consoles are. That's kind of the only thing you said apart from you can't build a powerful gaming PC for $350. Now that I agree with. You can't build a powerful PC for $350. Of course, that all depends on what your definition of powerful is. But you can absolutely buy a PC with components that will destroy a console, that will blow it out of the water for $350. Don't believe me? That's okay. I don't expect you to, because you don't know anything. Just go anywhere, on the internet, anywhere. There are too many examples for me to list. Look at Potato Master this or whatever you need to on YouTube. Just find yourself examples of people who put together PCs that it costs as much as a console and that will clobber it in any sort of benchmark. And also have it still act as a media center because it's a PC. And of course, no PC versus console debate is ever complete without somebody bringing up cost over time. Yeah, if you want a really, really good PC, again, an option that you have, an option that consoles don't afford you, if you want a really good PC, yeah, you'll pay more up front. But guess what? Parts are lasting longer and longer and longer. You can choose to upgrade whenever you want to. And, well, we don't have to pay for online like you do, so that's $60 a year. And over a console generation, that's, what, $400 plus? That's a really nice graphics card right there, and that'll definitely last you all that time. And then the games are cheaper for us because we lack the overhead that the physical copies of the game consoles have. We save money over time that you guys will have to spend.
Argument 3. Better social experience on consoles. Xbox Live and PSN are built for social interaction. Services such as Steam and Origin are less social. Let's take a quick look at some of the best features PSN and Xbox Live have to offer. As you can see, PSN has a wide array of features that make it more social platform than Steam. For example, the PS4 has cross-game party chat, a feature that Steam does not have. In order to communicate with others while playing different games, you must open another program such as Uvu, Skype, or any other over-the-internet calling service. These programs running along with your games can lead to a major dip in performance.
Hey!
I'd say hell no.
Hey, guys, just wanted to ask you a really quick question here. I noticed you guys are playing DayZ right now, and I'm playing 7 Days to Die, right? All right, those are completely different games, but we're in a party chat, right? We're doing cross-game chat, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to confirm that this is a feature for Steam, right? We can confirm this is a feature for Steam, right?
Confirmed.
Yeah,
You
yes.
can confirm.
Okay. Just asking
Oh,
a
yeah,
question.
Gaius Liberio.
I'll catch you in a little bit.
Well, I just domed some. I mean, I didn't dome him. I hit him in the back with a Winchester really close.
Also, the PS4 is a better interface meant for social interaction, as well as the Xbox One. Both the PS4 and Xbox One offer an integrated game recorder. Again, the PC, on the other hand, requires separate programs in order to record gameplay, such as Fraps. Additionally, the Xbox One and PS4 have Twitch live streaming integrated as well. Again, you need separate game recording software in order to live stream PC games, such as FF Split. Do I need to say any more on this? It's irrefutable that consoles are more social than PC.
I don't know about you, but I would much rather have the freedom to choose what software I do use instead of buying a piece of hardware that is locked to only be able to use one kind. So what? It's already on there. Downloading is simple. You just click a button and bam, it's there. We have options that you don't have. If you want to record, you have to either use Sony's approved gaming software, or you have to go out and buy, what, an Elgato box or something like that. Those aren't cheap. Those are like $80, $90, $100, $150. But hey, console's cheaper, right? Plus, a lot of the software that is free for us to use includes Twitch streaming services built into it. Shadowplay does. OBS does. It's really not hard to grasp. And it all really just comes down to freedom. We have the freedom to choose. You have the freedom to use what your company has ordained for you, or pay a lot of extra money. It's up to you. But hey, you want to talk affordability? That's fine with me. So explain to me this. How come you have to pay $50 a year, $60 a year to pay Sony and Microsoft just for the privilege of playing games that you've already bought on a console you've already bought with internet that you already purchase? Sure. Microsoft can promise all the 350,000 servers they want, but then they won't tell you, oh, it's up for the developers whether or not they want to use them or not. And developers don't want to use your servers. They want to use their own. I mean, the developers are already paying Xbox to put their games on the Xbox. Sorry, they're already paying Microsoft to put their games on the Xbox. They're already paying Sony to put their games on the PlayStation. So why is it that even though these servers will be run by the developers themselves, how come you're paying Sony and Microsoft to access those servers? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why you guys are paying $50, $60 a year. Because you do. You are your own problem. For years and years and years, you guys have paid for this service that you shouldn't have to pay for. And you know what? As long as you pay, they'll just keep charging you. There's no reason for them to, other than you'll pay for it. At least PlayStation Plus gives you your money back in terms of games, though that is very subjective, and I can't use that as a true argument. But really? Why? Explain to me why you guys have to pay. But you know, as I sit here listening to you talk about Steam, what it does, what it can't do, I thought to myself, when you said Steam doesn't allow for cross-game chat, I thought, obviously, you had never been on Steam before. I thought that you clearly had never gamed on a PC. You clearly had never actually used the service that you were trashing and saying incorrect things about. And then I saw your description where you listed a Steam profile name. And then my first thought was, well, it's probably just a token profile. It's one that he just uses in order to tell people, yeah, I got a Steam page, of course. In case they say you don't know what you're talking about and you've never been to Steam. So imagine my surprise when I'm greeted with this when I go onto Steam and look at your profile. MrNoobTubeGamer. What's this, though? You have 48 games? You have 19 friends? You've played Left 4 Dead for 60 hours? You're level 4? You clearly play. You clearly play online. You clearly have used Steam services. But maybe you haven't used the service long enough to know much about it. So imagine my surprise when I took a little gander at your game list here. And what's at the top? Gary's Mod. 435 hours. Second place is way behind Left 4 Dead 2, 60 hours. Postal 2, 15 hours. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, 14 hours. That game's way too mature for you, by the way. Saints Row 4, 13 hours. DayZ, 10 hours. Team Fortress 2, 9. Are you serious? You have played Steam for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours with 48 games, 19 friends, and you're telling me you didn't know that Steam had cross-game chat? Are you serious? Who are you trying to fool here? Who are you trying to fool here? Because you know what it looks like to me? Someone who's played Steam for many hundreds of hours and then claims that Steam doesn't have cross-party chat? It seems to me, Mr. NoobTube Gamer, that you are a liar. You're a liar. You're a little kid who's a liar on the internet. Not that that's new. But you're lying not to PC gamers. This, by your own admission, is a video for console gamers to use against PC gamers. You are lying to console gamers about the benefits, the free benefits of Steam in order to make a service that you guys pay for look even better. You are lying to people that you at least claim to be attempting to help. But you're doing nothing but deceiving them. You are telling untruths to them under the guise that you're trying to help them out, when in reality, you're just a little liar. And then I saw your past Steam names. Drug users deserve to die. Gays are going to hell. Drug users are queer. Autism is not real. Does your mother know what you do on the internet? Does your dear mother know what you're doing with internet connection that she pays for? Dear Lord, not only are you a repulsive little liar, but you're also just offensive for the sake of being offensive. That's not clever. That's not funny. That's just you being a kid on the internet, being as offensive as you can. But you know what? Whatever. Whatever. We're straying too much off topic. Let's get back to the point of why they made this video, and not dwell on the fact that you're a little lying, offensive child on the internet. So back we go.
Argument number 4. Exclusives. Whether you're a PC or a console gamer, I will ask you all the same question. How often do your friends in real life talk about how much they want a game that's exclusive to a console they do not own? For example, someone you know who owns an Xbox One really wants to get their hands on Bloodborne, or maybe another person you know who's on the PS4 wants to play Halo. Think about the amount of times you've encountered such an instance, and then compare it to how often your friends talk about a game that's exclusive to PC. You can't? My point exactly.
Wow, well then Justin Bieber must be way better of a musician than Electric Light Orchestra, because he's way more popular at the moment. And Twilight is a way better book than The Count of Monte Cristo, because nobody's talking about Alexandre Dumas' masterpiece these days. You see what I'm getting at? That little analogy, that little reason you gave a moment ago, it doesn't hold any water, not a speck, not a thimbleful. It doesn't make any sense. Do you listen to yourself when you talk? Do you? Really? You liar?
Argument number 5.
Okay, stop there. Okay, it took me about 5 takes to get this recording right, because every time I look at the word argument and see that little drawn-in hook for the G, I just get the giggles. It doesn't have any bearing on the argument whatsoever. I just wanted to point out how hilarious that is. So please, finish while I compose myself.
Impact on the gaming industry. Now,
Sorry, go ahead.
without consoles, gaming wouldn't exist today, but without PC, gaming would still exist. Let me just go over a few innovations that were made possible by consoles. First, the Atari 2600 is the reason why gaming is a part of current mainstream society. The Nintendo Entertainment System, whether I like to admit it or not, is the reason why gaming still exists today. Think about it. They got us out of the crash of 1983. And of course, Sony, with their analog, innovated controllers. Basically, all-around consoles have innovated the gaming industry, and not too many innovations, if any at all, have occurred on the PC.
But none of that affects my buying decision in any way. Why should I buy a console because of the impact on the gaming industry, like you say? Also, if you think that no innovations have happened on the PC, you're an idiot, but we've established that. We've also established you're a liar, but whatever. So you're going to have to explain to us why I should buy a console based on those other consoles in the past, especially when PC has come so far and has become so much more simple and easy to use.
Now let's move on to the second half of this video, the counter arguments. Basically, I take a look at 5 common arguments used by PC gamers and I basically refute them. So I'm going to start with argument number 1. PC gaming is better because consoles and console games are from PCs.
You have the kind of voice where making an inflection like that actually makes you sound better, so I'd go ahead and stop doing that.
Meaning, of course, you need a PC in order to develop the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One because they use parts from a PC. They're basically conventional PCs, right?
You're right, they basically are little PCs, except they're closed platform, and they have terrible hardware you can't upgrade.
And obviously console games are programmed on PCs. But here's a problem with that analogy. Chocolate milk came from milk. Does that mean that milk is superior than chocolate milk? Are hamburgers superior to cheeseburgers? And is basically every food product known to man inferior to wheat? Think about it. That makes absolutely no sense. It really doesn't matter where the consoles came from. If it's superior than PC, then that's all that really matters. If it came from PC, then it makes absolutely no sense to make a bold comparison like that. Because consoles came from PCs, but not from PC gaming.
All right, I've actually never heard this argument from the PC side as to why this is an advantage that we have. I've never heard someone from the PC side say that we're superior to consoles because consoles are developed on PCs. I've never heard this, ever. I don't know where you did, because I've never heard this. Even then, your analogies don't make sense. Everyone knows that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. It's a biological fact. Look it up. And they don't really make any sense either way. I don't know why you bothered to bring up these analogies. They don't work.
Argument number 2. PC gaming is a platform that gives gamers more freedom.
Whoa. Hold on there, cowboy. Of all the images on the entire internet that you could have chosen to show me why the Xbox One gives you more freedom than a PC, you chose this? You chose this guy? The infamous face of the Xbox One's launch? Of all the images on the internet, you chose this one to represent freedom. If you would have shown us the first hour of Roots, it would have been a better display of freedom than this image right here.
I'm going to start off by saying, if you're a PC gamer who avidly uses Steam, but you also criticized Microsoft for their DRM policies on the Xbox One that were later reversed, but still when they were first announced back in E3 2013, then you're a hypocrite, because Steam basically is centered around DRM and has the exact same policies that the Xbox One introduced in 2013, which of course were later reversed, but still I'm using it as a comparison.
First off, I'm not going to go into the reasons why Steam's DRM is different than what Xbox One attempted to do, what Microsoft attempted to do to you guys those years ago, because they are not the same. They are leagues different. But there are other channels who have devoted way more time and have their own videos to this topic. Way better YouTubers out there like Blackbuster Critic, like Total Biscuit, all those guys, they can do a much better job explaining this than I can. I will admit that. So I invite you, go to their channels, investigate this further. Please educate yourself as to why this is completely different on Steam than it was on the Xbox One. I implore you, because they are different. They are very different.
There's one thing that actually proves that consoles actually have more freedom than the PC in terms of gaming, which is the physical market, because you can actually receive a return for something that you sold. As in, you can sell a game and you can get money back from it. You cannot get money back from a digital product. It's just impossible. You can't resell something digital.
While physical copies of things does have certain advantages to it, for the most part, they can also have extremely big disadvantages as well, like getting scratched or marked up or destroyed. My old Xbox 360, back when I was a console gamer, it chewed up 4 different games, 2 copies of Battlefield Bad Company 2, a Modern Warfare, you know, the good one back in the day, and Fallout 3. I had to re-buy those games because my hardware chewed them up. Besides, I'd much rather sit on my ass in front of my computer screen, see a game I like, read all the reviews right there, look at all the Steam info right there, all the recommended specs right there, click a button and boom, it downloads, just like that. I would much rather do that than get my ass in my car, drive to the store, deal with GameStop employees, and then drive all the way back and then plug it in to my computer. I'd much rather just click a button and have it download. Not only that, but my digital purchase, I don't have to worry about having it be lost or stolen. I don't have to worry about it cracking or breaking or just growing old and deciding not to work. It's software. It's always going to work when I want it to. Once I press play, once I double-click the icon, it's there for me. I can go onto Steam and I can buy Tomb Raider Gold Edition. I can buy Deus Ex, the original. I can buy all these older games that you can't get physical copies of anymore. They'll last forever. I don't have to worry about misplacing them. I don't have to worry about them taking up space in my house. Everything I have is right here. And no, it's not just on my hard drive. Once I log into my Steam account, bam, it's there. I'll always have it. It will always be with me. And I never have to worry about it. It could sit there for years. And it'll work fine once I open it up.
Because it has no value. But the only thing PC really gives freedom for you to do is freedom to pirate. And that just hurts the developer and the publisher and basically anybody who's not you.
You just went on a spiel a moment ago about how good it is to have a ready supply of physical media there for you, so long as you drive to the store and buy it. But let me ask you this, Mr. NoobTubeGamer. If you go to GameStop, I shudder at the name, but if you go to GameStop and you buy a used game, tell me, how much money does the developer make on that? How much money does the publisher make on that game? When you buy a used game, tell me how much money they get. I'll give you a hint. It's a round number, and it rhymes with hero. So, if you want to demonize piracy, then it's also important to note that selling a used game is no different in its effect from piracy. Not only that, but if a pirate wasn't going to buy the game anyway, unless he could pirate it, then that is not a lost sale. That's not lost revenue. The company didn't miss out on a sale because he pirated it. He only bought it because he could pirate it and it was free. There is no money lost. They can't say, well, we lost money because he pirated our game. No, you weren't. He wasn't going to buy that game anyway. He only bought it because he could pirate it for free. You say the only freedom afforded to PC gamers is the freedom to pirate. Well, what about all of the monitors and all of the peripherals we get to choose from? We aren't controlled by Microsoft or Sony, who dictates which ones we can buy and which ones we can't. We don't have a tiny list of headsets or a tiny list of overpriced hard drives to buy. We could buy any type of software that we want, any kind of hardware we want, download whatever we want, and we could do anything we want with our systems. PC, personal computer, it is personal to me. No other PC out there is like mine, because I have unlimited freedom, basically.
Piracy sucks, and it happens more on PC than it does on console. Argument number 3. You can buy a powerful gaming PC that's cheaper than a new console.
No.
According to PCGamer.com, which of course is the largest publication or any really gaming site that's dedicated to PC gaming, PCGamer.com states that in order to have a budget PC that can actually last a few years instead of being outdated after a few months or a year, you need to pay close to $700, which of course is a lot more expensive than a PS4 or an Xbox One. So, yeah, no, it's you cannot spend less than $350 to have a PC that is just as powerful as a new console or more powerful. You cannot spend less than $350. It's just you can't. And of course, that was the thing I was alluding to in my argument number 2, saying that consoles are more affordable, right?
Can you provide us with a link or something? Because I'm looking at this list that you have presented here, and I'm going, there's a lot of stuff in here you don't need if you want to build a true budget PC. I mean, yeah, that's a great graphics card, and that'll beat the pants off of any console, but you don't need a 250 gigabyte SSD. You don't need a 2 terabyte hard drive. You can just settle with 1 terabyte and skip the SSD. You don't need a CPU cooler. I mean, all this stuff you don't need. You also don't need 8 gigabytes of RAM. 4 will suit you fine if you're really on a budget. So there's a lot of chaff here that can be cut away. I don't buy that this is from PC Magazine or Gamer. There's too much stuff in this list that doesn't make sense. Also, no gamer will tell you you can buy a powerful, which is a relative term, but a powerful PC for $350, but they will tell you you can buy a console killer for $350. Look at the potato masher that's listed in the link below. I mean, there's a lot of builds like this out there that cost basically as much as a console does, and if you order it online, you don't have to pay the tax on it, so that'll save you a lot of money. And you could, just buy games that are on sale or play free-to-play games, use cheap monitors. There's a lot of ways to cut the chaff in terms of spending money.
All right, so argument number 4. PC gaming is a better value than console gaming. This is a bit relatable to the last point I made, but it's a bit different, right? So basically, people mainly say that PC gaming is a better value because although you spend a lot of money up front, you save a lot of money from Steam sales and everything.
It's not just that. It's the ability to choose from a huge variety of different hardware setups that will give us the most value personally. Everybody, every single person, every individual has their different take on value and what's worth what. That's why Guy A can have a super expensive gaming rig and Guy B can have a middle-of-the-road PC and they both enjoy it excellently. We have the ability to customize things based on value. We can get the perfect value out of our systems because we can choose the hardware that we buy. We aren't buying Sony or Microsoft's one-size-fit-all answer to things. That's not personal.
Right. Well, let me start off by saying that Steam accounts are not free. Steam is not a free service. You have to spend at least $5 in order to have a full account.
According to Steam itself, we've chosen to limit access to these features as a means of protecting our users from those who abuse Steam for purposes such as spamming and phishing. Malicious users often operate in the community on accounts which have not spent any money, reducing the individual risk of performing the actions that they do. One of the best pieces of information we can compare between regular users and malicious users are their spending habits, as typically the accounts being used have no investment in their longevity. Due to this being a common scenario, we have decided to restrict certain community features until an account has met or exceeded $5 UST in Steam. So even if you don't spend $5, you can still play free-to-play games. You can't use friends or do chat messages or things like that. Yeah, that is true. However, This has a very, very positive effect on the community since it doesn't let people just create accounts willy-nilly, rate this game high, rate that game high, and generally corrupt the system that they have in place. A gaming company could make hundreds of profiles and then rate their game very, very highly on Steam, and it would look legitimate. This prevents that. It prevents corruption in a system like this. Just how there's a monetary fee that a company has to pay, a small one though, whenever they want to submit their game for Steam. It makes sure that people don't just create horrible garbage and just put it out there and just spam the storefront with stuff. Not only that, but this is $5 cumulatively. Some examples of purchases that grant access to those full features are adding 5 USDs to the Steam wallet in any way, purchasing games that are equal to $5, adding a Steam wallet card that's equal to $5, or even purchasing a gift for someone else that is equal to $5. Any purchase, basically, of $5, boom, you're full. And most games cost more than that. You're going to spend $5. Everyone does. This just makes sure that the place isn't spammy and full of bots.
Yes, PlayStation Plus costs $50 a year, and Xbox Live Gold does cost $60 a year, but...
Yeah, but it's free on the PC, and there is zero reason why you should be paying Sony and Microsoft yearly to use these features.
You do get free games every month that you can keep in your library forever. Steam, on the other hand, you do have free weekends, but you're only able to access those games for 2 or 3 days. Also...
So not only do I get to play a game for free for a weekend, oftentimes these are AAA games that have just released, and when the free weekend is over, that just leads up to a sale where very, very often these games are 50% off or even more. That's excellent. Not only that, but I don't have to buy them if I don't want to. I don't pay everything up front and then hope that the games that trickle down to me eventually are worth the money. No. I get to spend that money as I go if I want to, and all those games will be on sale. That's the whole deal. They let you play it for free, basically as a demo, and then they say, hey, if you want it, it's half off. It's 75% off, 40% off, whatever it may be. Not buying these games, not downloading these games that trickle down to me like I have to on Sony or Microsoft's Game Box or Game Service, I don't have the looming knowledge over me that I've spent $50, $60 on this stuff, and if I don't like it, then that just takes away from the value of the $50 to $60. If I don't think that a game's worth it, I don't have to buy it. Simple as that. I have choice. Choice that you don't have on a console. You pay your $60 up front, and then you hope that the value comes in. We get to select where our value is. Freedom and our spending decisions.
Multi-platform games are always better on the consoles, such as Batman Arkham Knight, Watch Dogs, and of course, The Witcher 3.
PC gamers will attest, of course, that it's actually the other way around. PC games, even the poorest of PC ports, are often much, much better than the consoles. They run at higher graphic levels, they have higher frame rates, they're not limited in the constraints of their settings like you are. Even the worst of ports for the PC, we still have options that you guys don't have. But you picked 3 very interesting selections. Let's go through each one and I'll explain a few things to you. First up, we have your selection of Arkham Knight. Now this may seem like this is an advantage for consoles, but again, remember what I said earlier where I said your young mind is like a train on a 17-foot track, and you get on and you get off and you haven't gone anywhere? Once again, you've stopped at step 1. You don't see past that. When Warner Brothers released this game, it was a AAA title they had poured money into. It was expensive. It was supposed to be a flagship game for their company. And so when they did a shoddy PC port of it that made it damn near unplayable for a lot of people, guess what? It is a post-Steam refund world, baby. And you can bet they had to shell out a lot of cash to mess with all the fees and all the refunds of people who didn't like it. Not to mention the actual cost of them taking the game off of Steam, which is basically unheard of. A company this big, a game this big, being pulled from Steam until it's fixed. They have to pour that much more money into fixing the game before it's released again. And just like PC gamers refused to pay Microsoft for games for Windows Live, we refused to give this company the money they wanted. We got our refunds back, and we told them that this is not up to our level of standards as gamers, and they conceded. A company of this massive size conceded to the PC market because we hold power, a power that console gamers don't have. Historically, you've gobbled things up whenever they're given to you, like a dog under the table yapping for scraps. But the PC gaming community was able to assert control over a company that released a terrible product on their dollar because we demanded better from them, because we deserve better. Everyone deserves better than that. So congratulations, Mr. NoobTube Gamer. You have pointed out the single best example as to why the PC community is so influential and powerful, and how we can get shit done. Now, Watch Dogs' release did not come without its fair share of controversy. Well, I almost said controversy there. It's all that British television. It really gets to your brain. Pretty much the entire gaming community in general agreed that it was better played on PC. We had the ability to unlock the original graphics, which Ubisoft showed off and then kept away from everybody. We had the ability to unlock those excellent graphics because we're PC and we can do that sort of thing. You can't. You're told what graphics you can have, and, well, if you don't like it, that's just too damn bad. So your second example is an excellent example of how we can access features that you can on console. How we can make our frame rates go higher and our graphics look better, and you can't. So, score 1 for PC. Again. And now we get to the last example, The Witcher 3. Now, The Witcher 3 is one of the most beautiful games ever made. It is stunningly gorgeous. But you probably wouldn't know that if you play on the consoles. You see, the consoles run this game at, are you ready for it? 1080p 30 frames a second on the PlayStation 4, and 900p 30 frames per second on the Xbox. Yeah, and both of those systems drop below 30 frames per second if things get too hectic. Now, I would consider myself a PC enthusiast. I have a really good PC and it's capable of a lot of powerful stuff. I run The Witcher 3 at 1440p, everything on Ultra, and I consistently maintain about 80 frames per second on average, though it normally does dip a lot higher than that. Now, I don't want to sound too condescending here, but I don't think that someone who plays on console can fathom how beautiful, how stunningly gorgeous this game is at those settings. I really don't think you would be able to imagine it. I think you would have to see it to believe it. And coupled with my G-Sync, so I don't have any screen tearing and everything is just as buttery smooth as possible, I just don't think you could imagine how good it looks. Now, I could post a YouTube video of it, but YouTube couldn't do it justice. I could post a screenshot, but it just wouldn't do it justice. It is something that is so impressive to see that you have to see it to believe it. So compare that to 1080p 30 frames a second, 900p 30 frames a second with crappy looking visuals. Yeah, don't tell me that The Witcher 3 is superior on consoles. Yeah, I'll take my high frame rates and resolutions, thanks.
And argument number 5, PC gaming is superior because it has better graphics. Now, this is definitely the most used claim, right, that PC gamers like to say. And honestly, it cannot be refuted, directly at least, right, because PC gaming does offer better graphics. However, what I can use to refute it is that most PC gamers do not have PCs that are actually utilizing the better graphics, as shown by a Steam survey. So, therefore, it really doesn't matter if it has better graphics when most PC gamers don't use the better graphics. Sure, it sells. The new PC games, they sell, but not as much as it would if more people actually had it. So, yeah, console wins this thing. You know, it's not a debate at all. It's pretty much irrefutable for the most part. Consoles are better than PCs, and any console gamers out there that's sick and tired of getting pushed around by those PC elitists, use this video to counter everything they say, and of course to give your own arguments on why consoles are better. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and of course I'll see you guys later. So yeah.
Now, I let all that slide because I want to wrap this all up in one final little stroke of the axe. You see, this image right here that I pulled from your video, a lot of people might not notice this. No one called it out on the comments section of YouTube that I saw. But me, I'm a bit more observant than most. You see, this image that you used, it's been edited. That's right. If you go to the Cinema Blend page where this survey still is on their site, it doesn't look like that. It looks a little bit different. Not too different, but different nonetheless, and different in a way that's fairly important and very, very relevant. You see, here's what the image looks like if you go to the website. Notice something a little different? Because I did. Let me point it out to you. Bingo! This is an article that is 2 years old. That's weird. I don't remember seeing that 2 years old 269 comments on your video's screenshot. That wasn't on your video. I mean, it's on the website. So what happened to that information between the website and to your video? What happened, Mr. NoobTubeGamer? What happened? You wouldn't lie to us, would you? You wouldn't deceitfully edit something to further your own point, would you? You wouldn't do that. But, well, I mean, I guess you would do that. I guess you would take an article and edit out some very important game-changing information in order to further your own goal. I guess you would use that kind of lying deceit in order to make yourself look smarter than you appear, which is admittedly not very difficult. So why does the 2 years ago 269 comments matter so much? Well, let me tell you, since obviously Mr. NoobTubeGamer does not want you to know that, let me show you. So why does the year matter so much? Well, for starters, nowadays 2 years is a huge leap in terms of what technology is available and how much we can really push our hardware and our software. Technologically, 2 years is a very, very important span of time, especially nowadays. NVIDIA has released their 900 series GPUs, for instance. That's just one example. But most importantly, at the time of this article's writing, the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, they've not been released yet. They're basing this article on hardware specs that are not yet available to the public. All the PC gamers out there, they're waiting to see what stuff comes out for these systems before they make their upgrade. Right now, everyone's PC is spec'd based on the lowest common denominator, which at that time was the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 4. That's what PC gamers will do very often, especially in a time when we get an upgrade in the console hardware. And since many games are made with that hardware in mind, it only makes sense for us to wait a little bit longer before we choose our upgrades, because we'll be able to see what upgrades come out with the Xbox One and the PS4. Not to mention that historically, the technological difference in terms of computing power and strength in gaming is bigger now between the console and PC than it has ever been in the past, and that gap is only going to grow and grow. And another thing that you might not notice about this article, at least not at first glance, is that the comments have been closed. And I bet I can guess why. If you start looking at the comments here, I'm scrolling as I speak this, there are 269 comments, and all of the top-rated comments, they're not very kind to either the article or the article's author. It's very clear that everyone sees this as a very misleading article, and they explain in very good words that I'll shamelessly copy. Like our first example from Mr. Dreamdrop Heart, who says, "Why do I need a PC more powerful than a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? There's nothing pushing it graphically yet." And guess what? He's damn right. Many of the new games that came out for the new consoles still had versions on the old consoles, and as a result, the hardware that was old held back the hardware that was new, which is how PC gamers incidentally feel basically all the time. At this point, there wasn't a reason for us to upgrade because we couldn't really see what this new hardware was capable of. So we opted to wait until the true exclusive started to come out. And next we have Guy, or he could be French, Guy, who says, Steam survey, most PC gamers have weaker PCs than hardware that hasn't been released yet. Willis Coleman states right below that, look at the date, and then look at Steam. This article is way off now. Ignore this. What do you mean, asks Slut Magnet. Classy name. This article was written by someone who doesn't understand computers and was using out-of-date data. Not to mention the article itself is out of date. And that's from a guy who said that a year ago. Even a year ago, this article was considered out of date. But you know what? I think I've droned on and on quite enough. I think you all get the picture. Now, I am but a tiny, little, humble channel, but I am not a channel that lies. I'm not a channel that fills people's hearts with deceit. I'm not going to lie and be dishonest and edit things out of articles on the internet and then present them as facts to the people that I am trying to help. Few things are lower than the disgusting display you have presented for us today, Mr. NoobTubeGamer, and shame on you, because you've been caught. Hell, I'm such a small channel, this video will probably get, barely 20 views, but you know what? That doesn't really matter to me. I'm not in this for the views or the money. I'm just in this for lulz. I'm just in this to make me feel good, and making this video has made me feel very, very warm and fuzzy inside. So on behalf of myself, on behalf of all the people who saw your train wreck of a digital display and disliked it and moved on with a chuckle or a sigh or a disappointed hanging of their head, I thank you, Mr. NoobTubeGamer. So be careful when you lie, Mr. NoobTubeGamer. Be careful when you lie, because someone's always watching.